Hi everyone, welcome, and we're live. Wow. So perhaps quite a serious philosophical conversation, and because I'm live, I want to focus on the key points. Who are you? Have you ever thought to yourself, well, my name is X, I'm born in 2001 or whenever it was. I'm born in this city, this is my nationality, this is my religion. You have this whole identity set up for yourself based on where you're born, who your parents were, your name, your gender or sex, whatever your sexuality happens to be. That's also part of your identity. What about your personality? Where does it come from? So the ultimate question I'm asking is, who are you? Who are you? And keep asking that question because it's a very, very interesting philosophical question. Who am I? Well, I can say I'm a human being, but beyond that, I can say I'm a man. But beyond that, everything is a perspective. So we see that perspectives are how we make up our reality, and this personality is a construct. It's an abstraction. It's something we have developed for ourselves, and we've developed it based on our life experiences, particularly significant emotional events, our parenting, our childhood, our education, the environment in which we grew up. We have developed this personality to cope with challenges around us, to confront the fears that we face, the fear of rejection, the fear of abandonment, all these fears that we had to deal with. We created a personality to be successful, to deal with life, to manage the challenges that we had to face, to become more functional human beings. We had to create these winning formulas. So our personality is a construct, and ultimately we cling to our personality. We tend to cling to it quite strongly, and we think it's really real. Our individual separated consciousness is what our personality is. You can call it your ego. It's something you've created yourself that separates you from other people. It separates you from the world around you. And most of us believe it's real, including me. Often I get caught up in thinking it's real, that this reality we see is real. But ultimately the point is that everything is a perspective, everything is a construct. Beyond this personality, what is there? Is it a soul? Is it a spark of the divine? Is it? Do you believe in that kind of thing? That's obviously up to you. Our wants, needs, preferences, beliefs, values, are they real? Where do they come from? Can we change them? Do we want to change them? Because obviously our personality has got us where we are today. That may be a very successful place. Perhaps we don't want to change our personality because it's really, people love us. It's great. It's wonderful. Why would you want to change it? So I'm not telling you to change it. I'm just discussing and promoting this idea of awareness of the question of who are you? Where did your personality come from? What is real? Who are you beyond that? And is your personality actually real? It's a philosophical question. What if our sense of self is an illusion, is entirely made up, is brought about by the nature of the mind and the ego that thinking creates? I don't seek to structure your reality in a particular way. And at the same time, I don't seek to unstructure your reality. I simply seek to make you more aware. I simply seek to make you think about these topics And in thinking about these topics, perhaps your sense of self may expand. Perhaps you'll see your personality as something that could really be limitless, could really change, could be malleable, could be perhaps even approaching the infinite, something you change every day. I wouldn't say that would be a very healthy approach to life. And good luck with that. All I'm saying here is that there is a self beyond this self that we think is real. There's an energy that's beyond you. There's an energy that animates you. There is no you that is separate from your experience. It only feels like there is. There's no experiencer of experience, just experience itself. And what is experience? Well, experience is moving, changing. Experience is happening. Experience is a happening. Thoughts are happening. They are constantly happening, whether you control them or whether you try to control them or not. They're still going to be happening. Start to see the world, or be open to see the world as a happening. It will help you to have a little bit of a more neutral stance to the world and be less emotionally attached, emotionally vulnerable. You can be open to what you see, but also have a little bit of a neutral perspective. That will be helpful. See the world as a happening, something that is happening. You are not an experiencer of experience. You are experience itself. You're part of the experience of the world, part of the experience of life. You may be having the experience yourself, but you're also part of the experience. You are on a stage experiencing the experience. As Shakespeare said, the whole world is a stage and we are merely players. So be part of the world, but not of it. And yet also be the experience, be the experience, be within the experience. Be part of this experience we call life. You can't avoid being part of the experience called life. Also become a watcher, become an observer, see what's happening and see the illusion, and don't get too caught up in the illusion. Watch the mind and see that it stays in check, because the mind is tricky. The mind will trick you. It will do mischief on you. It will take you down pathways and tell you that things are real, but they're really not real at all. Perhaps they're just merely perspectives. I would encourage each person to be less attached to the world, still of it, and part of the experience, yet also a little bit more neutral, a little more able to surrender and let go when appropriate, to let go of thoughts, constructs, ideas, beliefs, perhaps even your concept of the mind itself, perhaps your concept of your personality. The dramas are happening. The personality that is Donald Trump or whatever it is, whatever politician, whatever media personalities, they're just being, they're just doing their thing. They're just part of the experience. They're actors in the grand scheme of things. They're actors on the stage. This politics is being played out. Experience is being experienced, and there are many interesting points of view. Start to see perspectives, what people tell you as points of view. You could see a beautiful day around you, or you could see, oh, look at the hideous rain, look at the hideous sunshine, look at the terrible temperature. It's all just a point of view. It's all just a perspective. And everyone having a perspective, is having a point of view. Is one to say one point of view is more valid than another? It's hard to objectively verify what is more valid than another viewpoint, because a viewpoint is just a viewpoint. I want to get back to where we are placed as human beings in this experience. And this is something I'm sure you've heard many times being said, that we are eternal spiritual beings having a human experience, which is temporary. So what's real is being a spiritual being. That's something eternal that we can take with us throughout eternity. That's something that's everlasting. What is temporary is our personality. This human ego construct is going to be here for 70, 80 years, 90 years, maybe 100 years at best, or whatever it is. These attachments, addictions, fixations, wants, needs are all part of being human. It's important to identify who we are beyond this little personality self, and that's why having some kind of spiritual practice like meditation, which we discuss on this channel, is helpful to root you to something permanent, something that is real and fulfilling. The point is that meditation helps people feel fulfilled and helps them identify for themselves what is real, helps them to identify what is their own point of view and what is another point of view, and what they wish to sit with, take on for themselves, and perhaps adjust their behaviors where appropriate. Meditation helps us to see. It helps us to become more aware. Awareness is seeing. It's expanding our perspective. So a spiritual practice helps us to see what is real, what is counterfeit, what are our false gods, illusions, what are we chasing, what are we addicted to, because we all have addictions, whether they're physical or even a human being can be another addiction. A friendship can be an addiction. Following a politician can be a type of addiction. Watch the things you're attached to, because ultimately you could call them addictions too. And there's idols. They may not be statues that we hold up and pray to. They may be a car, they may be money, these are false idols, these are illusory, these are temporary, impermanent. Attachments can be necessary, and attachments are hard to avoid. We're human beings, yet it's helpful to observe what creates tension in the mind. What creates tension in the mind? That's very helpful. And the sure sign that there's an attachment present there. Our meditation practice involves watching our minds. What is there? Just watching. What is actually there? This will help us to see and gain an awareness and clarity. Ultimately, when we are present with ourselves, we become masters. Masters. And mastery is about presence and awareness. What is a peaceful mind? A peaceful mind has the power to create a peaceful world, because it's all perspective. If my mind is at peace, then everything around me is at peace. Even the moving car, the thunder, the lightning, it's all at peace, because my mind sets it that way. My mind sets it that way. It's a frequency. It's a frequency of awareness of how we see the world around us. And those perspectives are powerful because we can create them ourselves. What is true freedom? True freedom is loving unconditionally. Yet always we are the ones with the responsibility to connect, to take care of and nurture our minds like a sacred garden. And that's what ultimately our meditation practice is about. It's nurturing our minds and creating a perspective that will help us navigate through the world, navigate through our lives in a more functional, effective, and productive way. So we may reach more potential, more possibility, and not limit our capacity so much as we tend to do as human beings, particularly stuck in these patterns of consciousness that keep us down here. Because if my personality, say, is angry, and I go into a restaurant and a waitress approaches me and I feel anger and I strike out with my words, what is the response to that? Will I be happy? What is her response to that? Will she be happy? All I'm doing is creating destruction with my points of view, with my personality construct. You can change your personality. It's not set in stone. If something's not working for you, have a look at it. And that is what creating the fertile garden in our mind within our meditation practice is all about. Our practice in meditation is about using our individual responsibility to construct our mind. How do we construct our mind? Like a fertile garden with awareness, calmness, and wisdom. We shine the light of awareness, shine the light of consciousness on our beautiful garden, on our fertile garden, and we create this beautiful garden, and that beautiful garden becomes our life. It becomes our perspective on reality. We love unconditionally and become aware that we are ultimately responsible for the state of our minds and the state of our hearts. I'm David Starlyte, and I hope these thoughts were helpful to you, and I hope you enjoyed them. And I'm really happy to share my ideas with you today. And we will end this live stream. I hope, thank you for joining us. It's my first live stream, so it's been fun for me. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.